Think of it as assembling a puzzle. You're not just looking for any piece. You're searching for the corners and edges, the trends that frame the bigger picture.
Welcome to Enzo's Butler and the Exceptional English Club's lesson on the Bezos Number, Decoding Trends for Business Triumph. We'll explore sophisticated vocabulary like haystack and introspection, and unveil elegant phrasal verbs such as homes in on and wrestles with. Our lesson also includes colorful idioms like hitting a wall and fortune favors the brave, enriching our eloquent expression. As we journey through this material, we'll challenge our understanding with thought-provoking questions and refine our mastery through practical exercises. Join us in this captivating exploration of language, where curiosity and a thirst for knowledge lead us to triumph in life's grand theater. Let's commence this exciting voyage of linguistic discovery together.
In a lavish study lined with bookshelves and a grand view of a manicured garden, Enzo, a young entrepreneur, sits pensively. His butler, a wise and well-read man, enters with a silver tray bearing a steaming pot of tea. The air is thick with the scent of old books and the promise of a lesson in innovation.
Butler, I've been wrestling with these startup ideas, trying to get a grip on what could be the next big thing. But I'm hitting a wall. I need a fresh perspective.
Sir, have you considered searching for your Bezos number, as Patrick Campbell discussed on My First Million? It's about finding the velocity of a trend, much like catching the right wave in surfing.
Bezos number, that's a new one for me. Pour me some tea and tell me more.
Imagine the internet in its infancy, growing at a staggering rate of 2,700% a year. Mr. Bezos saw this tide and decided to sail with it, not knowing his exact destination but certain of the journey's profit. The Bezos number is finding a trend with such momentum.
So it's about latching onto a skyrocketing trend, but how do I fish for such a trend?
One must dive into the sea of information. Campbell mentioned how he and a researcher scoured through industry reports, trend and stat websites, and, this is the golden nugget, used Google Scholar to unearth academic papers rife with emerging trends.
That's a lot to take in. It sounds like sifting through a mountain to find gold.
Precisely, sir. But think of it as assembling a puzzle. You're not just looking for any piece. You're searching for the corners and edges, the trends that frame the bigger picture.
How do I sort the wheat from the chaff then? There must be a myriad of trends.
Indeed, sir. The trick is to categorize and analyze. What's the doubling time of a trend? Is it waxing or waning? What are the causes and effects? This framework helps you home in on what the world needs and, importantly, what it will pay for.
Sounds like a plan, but it feels like I'm trying to hit a moving target.
That's the art of entrepreneurship, sir. Think of it as reading the wind and adjusting your sails accordingly. And remember, as they say, fortune favors the brave. This Bezos number could be your compass to navigate these choppy waters.
And what of these categories and trends? How do I pin them down?
It's all there in the spreadsheet. Let's take admissions rates to top colleges, for instance. They've been falling. Stanford from 4.8% to 3.9% in 5 years. Harvard from 6% to 4%. This isn't just a statistic. It's an arrow pointing to an opportunity in the education sector.
I see. So we're not just throwing darts in the dark, we're aiming based on data.
Exactly, sir. You don't want to bark up the wrong tree. With this method, you're less likely to bite off more than you can chew and can avoid going down a rabbit hole.
Butler, your wisdom is always a breath of fresh air, but I wonder, isn't there a risk of chasing a pipe dream with this approach?
There's always a risk, sir. But with thorough research and calculated risks, you can avoid going off the deep end. It's about striking while the iron is hot, without getting your fingers burnt.
I must admit it's daunting, yet there's a thrill to the chase, isn't there?
Indeed, sir. The allure of entrepreneurship is not just in the success but in the pursuit itself. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Pace yourself, and you'll go the distance.
I'm all ears, Butler. So how do I kick things off with this Bezos number?
Start by rolling up your sleeves and diving into the data. Then, brainstorm. Let the ideas percolate. Once you've got a solid lead, you can flesh it out. It's not about finding a needle in a haystack but knitting the hay into gold.
Knitting hay into gold, huh? That's one way to put it. And these trends, how do I ensure they're not just a flash in the pan?
That's where the doubling time comes into play. It's not enough that a trend is on the upswing. It must have the legs to run the course. Is the trend doubling? Tripling? You must gauge its stamina.
And when I've found a promising trend?
Then, sir, you map it out. What's causing this surge? What effects will it have? How does it align with your passions and skills? That's your sweet spot, the intersection of what you love, what you're good at, and what you can be paid for.
It sounds like finding the Bezos number is as much about introspection as it is about investigation.
Spot on, sir. It's a dance between the internal and the external. One must know oneself as well as the market. The stars align when your inner compass points to a trend with potential.
Butler, you've given me a lot to chew on. I'll need to stew on this.
Take your time, sir. Sleep on it if you must. When you wake, the fog may have cleared, and the path forward could be lit with the dawn's early light.
Thank you, Butler. You've set the wheels in motion. Now it's up to me to keep the ball rolling.
Always at your service, sir. And remember, in the world of business, as in all of life, it's not just about reaching the destination. It's about enjoying the journey. Shall I leave you to your thoughts?
Yes, Butler. And bring that pot of tea with you. I have a feeling it's going to be a long night.
Very good, sir. I'll be just a bell's ring away should you need me.
In the silence that follows, Enzo stares out the window, the gears turning in his mind. The butler exits, leaving behind the scent of Earl Grey and a sense of anticipation for the entrepreneurial voyage ahead.
Comprehension questions. Question number 1. What is the allure of entrepreneurship? Question number 2. How can one ensure that a trend is not just a flash in the pan? Question number 3. How can one search for a skyrocketing trend? Question number 4. What is the role of data in aiming for opportunities? Vocabulary multi-choice. To stay ahead of the competition, businesses must adapt to the what of market trends. A. Statistics. B. Velocity. C. Compass. D. Changes. E. Demands. What? A groundbreaking innovation that will revolutionize the industry. A. Anticipation. B. Need. C. Infancy. D. Unearthed. E. Have. Our company's revenue has been steadily, what? Over the past 3 years. A. Investigation. B. Choppy. C. Increasing. D. Growing. E. Tripling. Good ideas. What? In collaborative environments where diverse perspectives blend to spark creativity. A. Occur. B. Percolate. C. Tide. D. Arise. E. Thorough. Phrasal verbs multi-choice. It, what? Enzo to persuade investors to fund his startup idea. A. S up the. B. Is hard. C. S up to. D. Went up to. E. S down to. Enzo, what? Different market strategies before making a decision. A. Focused over. B. Reflected through. C. Pondered on. D. Choose on. E. Choose through. Enzo, what? Potential customers by conducting surveys and market research. A. Look attracts. B. Search for. C. Fishes for. D. Fishes with. E. Search identifies. Enzo, what? The emerging trend of sustainable technology for his startup. A. Homes in exploring. B. Wants in on. C. Homes focuses on. D. Weighs in. E. Homes in on. Idioms and phrases. Definition: something that is briefly popular or successful. A. A flash in the pan. B. Bigger picture. C. Bark up the wrong tree. D. Finding a needle in a haystack. Definition: to direct your efforts or accusations towards the wrong person or thing. A. Bark up the wrong tree. B. Sweet spot. C. Bite off more than you can chew. D. Chasing a pipe dream. Definition: the complete or overall view of a situation, including all its details and aspects. A. Bigger picture. B. Throwing darts in the dark. C. Sweet spot. D. Bark up the wrong tree. Definition: to take on more responsibility or work than one can handle. A. Hitting a wall. B. A flash in the pan. C. Sort the wheat from the chaff. D. Bite off more than you can chew. Definition: take advantage of a favorable opportunity. A. Striking while the iron is hot. B. Sweet spot. C. Catch the right wave. D. Bark up the wrong tree.
I express my utmost gratitude for your attentive ear. If you enjoyed this lesson, kindly subscribe and share it with your friends. Should you seek